British pet culture ain't got nothing on America. I don't see where we're gonna go with this video, considering that most houses in the UK have pets. Before we do get into this, a lot of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. If you guys haven't already, hitting that subscribe button would mean a lot. But yeah, let's jump into this and see what we got.
Like this, you know, it's time to restore the initial reasons for which the internet was created, cats. And although ironically this one has absolutely no idea what the internet is, you're clueless, aren't you? What's a JPEG? What's a
Bro, that cat looks so fluffy for a cat. I swear that's not a normal fluffy cat, is it?
Key. Yeah. What's a content management system? What is Instagram? Who are all these people? Yeah, you're not very smart.
It's a cute cat.
It's true. You've been self-isolating your whole life. Yeah, well, you've also been running off with all of the toilet roll, so you're part of the problem, aren't you?
Aww. Yo, imagine just one day, like, actually imagine this, bro. Like, you're talking to your cat, your dog, whatever pet, right? And then all of a sudden, it just, it talks back to you? what would you do? Actually, I got a really good question before we start this. If you can ask your pet one question and they could answer, right, but only one, what would you ask? Leave it in the comment section.
Hello,
that's actually a really good question.
I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to something that's very dear to my heart, and I dare say the hearts of other people watching, looking at these stats, and that's pets. The animals, the little furballs that a lot of us live with, and in my wife's case, that's both a cat and me. Furballs being an affectionate term for a cat in this case. But having lived in America now for all of this time, something has become abundantly clear, and that is that America absolutely kicks Britain's arse when it comes to pet culture. Actually, I had experience of this firsthand when I first moved to the United States, because Tara's family had, 9 dogs, and one of those, a chocolate Labrador, marauded me as soon as I walked in the door. Welcome to...
most people have between, like, 1 to 3 pets. I don't know anyone with 9 dogs. So maybe America just goes crazy with numbers, right?
America, she said, in her own variety of English that wasn't English.
Oh, wait, in America, can't you get, like, wait, you can get pet snakes in the UK. Can't you get, like, pet alligators and stuff? Maybe that's what it is.
And you just get a general sense here, no matter where you live, that people just take their dogs for a walk more often. Not right now, we're on lockdown, but in normal springtime weather, that is the case. I say springtime weather, it is about to turn spring officially, and, I had this video lined up for a long time, thinking that, it would sort of mirror everybody's outdoor activities. And here we are, quarantined like the day we were born. I was born in a lab. But I figured, since a lot of us are quarantined right now, that this might actually have some deeper resonance that I wasn't even anticipating, and that you'll look at the screen and go, oh, and that's just at my face. And what I was saying a moment ago is absolutely true. The stats bear me out on this, and before you stop me and say, oh, well, it's because America has bigger houses.
Oh, okay, we're going to pull up some stats. Right. This is going to be interesting, because I don't know how America would absolutely, dominate the UK with pets, because we have a lot. We're like, every household has pets.
Or it can have more pets per houses. Well, no, just households alone, 67% of households have at least one pet, right? Compared to the United Kingdom, where it's 45%. So that's a big jump. And it sort of mirrors my own experience, I think, of living in the United States and living with animals.
Wait, that seems low. Most people I know have pets. You're telling me less than half of the UK don't have less than half have a pet? Interesting. Household.
And so I thought it would be fun to drill down a little bit deeper and just look at it by animal type and see where America is kicking Britain's arse. Now, our first entry might literally be lost in the pond, and it's also an exception that proves the rule.
Fish.
Yes,
I was
fish. I think in my entire life I've never actually lived with fish, and if I did, I've forgotten it. And they forgot it after 3 seconds. But apparently a lot of people in the United Kingdom do, if the statistics are anything to go by. Now, bear in mind, in the United Kingdom there are 67 million people, and that equates apparently to 27.6 million households. And I can report that there are almost twice as many fish as that. In fact, there is one fish for every 0.6 households. That sounds crazy, but when you think about it, a lot of tanks have about 27,000 fish in them. That's a lot. You'd have to spend a lot of money for that. So over-exaggerating, but, you know, tanks don't usually just have the one fish. Otherwise, he or she would become quite bored. Right. And then subsequently forget their boredom and then become excited again and then bored and excited every 3 seconds. Is it true about goldfish, 3-second memories? I might be making that.
No, I think he's right with that. I don't know, let me know in the comments, but I'm pretty sure goldfish, I don't know if it's 3 seconds, but it's definitely less than 10. Their memory just goes. Because I always thought, don't they get bored in the tank, but like, they're swimming, forgot. Swimming, forgot. Yo, yeah, that's actually quite cruel to live like that, bro. Wow.
Can't remember. Either way, that's the only UK entry on this list that beats the United States of America.
Right.
Don't believe me? Let's do the maths. So in the United States, there are 328 million people spread across 128 million households. Once again, that number is bested by the number of pet fish that live in the United States, but not quite to the extent that we see in the UK. In fact, there is one fish for every 0.8 households.
Oh,
and I just realised that sounds like one fish taking up 4/5 of a house. That's not what these averages mean. There's a lot of fish, is what I'm saying. And
you know what would be interesting to know what pets you guys have. Let me know what pets you guys have. I've had in my life, I've had a pet fish, a pet rabbit, a couple dogs, many cats. Have I had a hamster? I'm not too sure.
From the sea to the land, let's take a look at all of our next entries, each of which are more prominent. What are you doing up here? You get down. Each of which are more prominent in North America. Nay, the United States. I said nay on purpose there. You'll see.
Horse. Oh yeah, people have pet horses, don't they?
I can't see my stats. You're in the way. I'm gonna have to wing this now, which will be appropriate when we get to birds, but not yet. All right, can I go on? We're supposed to be talking about horses. Yeah, we'll get to you at the end.
That cat is so beautiful.
It's always about him, always. Oh, look, he's got a tale to tell. Okay, I'll just go on. So horses have tails. That's a tie-in, I suppose. So horses are surprisingly common in the United States. I say surprisingly, but I think when I think of horses, I just think of Jane Austen novels.
Wait, no, of course horses are common in America. Cowboys, bro. Cowboys and horses.
And the old times, Henry VIII and all of that. So I always just think that, you know, we are the country of the horse. Not so. Apparently the United States has a lot of them. I was kind of surprised by these numbers. So the United States, you have one horse or pony, I should say, because it falls into the sort of equine family of horses.
Wait, not per household.
You have one of those for every 16.8 households. That sounds like a lot to me. But these are the numbers prepared by my graphics team, a team that consists of my cat. It can't be right. What is this? The Wild West? That sounds like a lot of horses. But I suppose when you think about it, that people that keep horses keep multiple horses.
True.
And I suppose also, this was pointed out to me earlier on by the wife, not the cat.
But then again, like, I can imagine horses. I wonder what's the stat of how many horses are pets. Because, like, I can't imagine there being that many. Like, yeah, if you have a horse, you might have multiple. I can't imagine that many, like, not your everyday family's just gonna have a pet horse, you know what I mean?
He doesn't speak. Suppose also, this was pointed out to me earlier on by the wife, not the cat. He doesn't speak. Is that the United States has a lot of land, so therefore it has a lot of places for horses to roam free. I wouldn't keep one in here because it would take up 4/5 of my house. But in Jane Austen land in the United Kingdom, horses...
Yo, imagine, I wonder if someone's ever done that. Like, they genuinely got a pet horse and kept it in the house. Bro, if there's any country on the planet where someone's gonna do that, it's America. Someone in America. I bet you someone in America has had a pet horse in their house, bro. And in their garden. It's probably illegal, but yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Quite so popular. I certainly didn't grow up with a horse. I didn't know anybody that did. I did, actually. I dated somebody who did.
My mum had a horse.
It ended very quickly. So in the United Kingdom, there's one horse or pony for every 138 households.
That's way more in America than the UK. Way more.
Sound more expected to me. And I did encounter horses in my youth, I should remember. At my aunt's farm, I was almost kicked by one at one point, and that's put me off riding one ever since. And also, I'm scared of heights. They're tall buggers, aren't they? Something that isn't tall and doesn't always have 4 legs is our next entry.
Reptiles.
Oh, the first time I saw a four-legged reptile was in Orlando, but the problem was I was 8 years old and I thought it was a toy. And to this day, you know, I'd love to cohabit with one, say a lizard.
What?
But I think my cat would eat its head off, and for the same reason. And this one isn't surprising, because it's not just Florida where you might see reptiles just roaming the streets with your own eyes. To be clear, I'm not suggesting they steal your eyes. He's back. I mean, you might see an iguana or a...
Bro, they're just so cool looking. My, one of my good mates has a, oh, what is it? A gecko. A gecko, and he's so cute.
You might see an iguana or a snake. Speaking of, can you get yours?
I wouldn't have a snake.
Please? And so the United States, just in the wild, seems to be more replete with...
I did a snake video the other day. Quite a few of you guys actually do have snakes. Hey, fair enough to you that having snakes. But I've heard that pet snakes have killed their pet owners, right? The owners. That's not happening with me. I'm not even giving it the chance. Bro, imagine one day you're sleeping, then you're waking up strangled by the... Oh, no, that's not happening. That's not happening.
Reptiles, but the same is true of households by quite some distance. If you were doing the mathematics earlier on, you'll have noticed that there are about 5 times as many households in the United States as there are in the UK. But there are about 10 times as many... He's back again. He won't stop, so I'm just going to keep going. There are about 10 times as many pet reptiles. His arse is in my face. It's so off-putting.
What,
anyway,
in the UK or United States?
In American households, there's one reptile for every 13.6 households. That sounds high. I just don't remember encountering any reptiles in any of the houses that I visited in the US in my time living here. Are people just hiding them? Is that what happens? Do they think I'm going to be allergic because I'm from England? In the UK, this is different. It's one reptile for every 30.66 households. That's quite
wow. So bear in mind that America has way more households. Wow. Oh, wait. No, this is ratioed, isn't it? Wait, yeah, I think, yeah, it is.
Specific. That also sounds high. I don't remember encountering reptiles when I lived in the UK.
No, I know a few people.
My next door neighbour once had terrapins. He's biting me. He's biting my hand. Terrapins must be reptiles, right? It's hard to research these things as they come to you on the fly. No, on the fly is a saying. Right?
Yo, now imagine your pet snake biting your hand like that. It won't be the same reaction, bro.
Doing birds just yet. Don't worry, you'll still be interested in our next entry, I promise. Because our next entry is this.
What? Football? Oh, cats.
I use that word on purpose to describe what are actually small animals, but small animals wouldn't fit in the graphic, so I just made up a term, and now I think it sounds rude. But from what I can gather, the category of small animals or fluff balls are things like gerbils or rabbits or mice, those little animals that can get sucked up by a vacuum cleaner. I've never tried that on rabbits.
Yo, I was going to say, I don't know how small your rabbits are, but the rabbits I had can't be sucked up by a vacuum cleaner. They can't be sucked up, right?
Mice, those little animals that can get sucked up by a vacuum cleaner. I've never tried that on rabbits or any of them. In the UK, there's apparently one small animal or fluff ball. I want that trademarked, by the way, for every 17.25 households. Now, again, that might sound like quite a lot, but it's got nothing on the United States. You love your little furry animals here, and that's not a euphemism. In the United States, there is one small fluff ball for every 9.4 households.
Wow, that's a lot.
Kind of like the reptiles. I don't tend to see these very often when I go to houses. Is it just where I live, or are they just being hidden for experiments? Do they smell my cat? I certainly have today.
You know what? I ain't gonna lie. These numbers seem really... I know what you're saying. Like, they seem really high, bro. And I also can't believe that America... Like, I thought UK have a lot of pets. So the fact that America literally has way more in most categories, that's crazy.
One thing I know for sure is that he would absolutely devour your small rodent, and the same is true of our next entry.
Birds.
Here's a personal story. My grandma used to have a couple of birds, and they do this thing where they mimic her voice right down to all of the swear words.
Parrots.
And sure enough, my grandma isn't alone. The UK has one bird for every 135 people. That's one bird for every 55.2 households. But that ain't got nothing on America, the land of the bald eagle, which nobody keeps those in cages, just so we're clear, right? Nonetheless, bird cohabitation in the United States is surprisingly widespread. There's a bird population, pet bird population here of 20.3 million birds. That's one bird for every 6.3 households.
Wait. One bird every 6 houses? Nah, that don't sound right. Bro, how many... Who here has a bird? Who watching this video has a bird? I don't know anyone that had... Other than my grandma that's had one, I don't know anyone with a bird.
Bear in mind that this data could be skewed
Then again, like... I'm talking about UK, but yeah, I don't know, bro. Mad.
Some households having multiple birds. One of several things that birds have in common with toilet paper. Then again, PetSmart does have a lot of birds, so there's clearly a demand. You don't see many horses there. But
True.
you do see plenty of other four-legged animals, including our final 2 entries.
Dogs and cats. Dogs and cats. I love dogs, my favorite.
I absolutely love dogs, and if I'm being honest, I love them more than cats.
Same.
He's not around at the minute. They're just amazing. Like when they're chasing their own tail.
That's
how I feel when I'm trying to record with a cat on the table. And the way chocolate Labradors wrestle you to the ground and lick your face off, it was adorable because she didn't know any better. Dogs are simply the greatest thing
I love them
ever, if I'm honest.
My favorite dog has to be a husky, and it's such a shame because I wouldn't be a good owner for a husky. Huskies require like so much looking after, walking, and I wouldn't be able to do that. Oh, it's such a shame because I'd love to have a husky, man. I really would. Anyone that's got a husky, please on my Instagram, L3WG_, send me pictures. I would love that because I can't have one. So let me like see your pictures. I'm hoping a lot of you guys do have huskies or whatever. Yo, any pets at all. I love looking at pictures of pets.
And both the UK and America agree. In the UK, there are 9 million pet dogs. That's one dog for every 7.5 people, or one dog
that makes sense,
for every 3 households.
That
but
makes
the United
sense.
States has that beaten. And that's
How?
because every family that has at least 2 children also has 70 dogs. And so in the United States, you have one dog for every 3.6 people, one dog for every 1.42 households.
Okay, wow. Okay, I thought UK loves dogs. America is different.
They are a huge part of the family makeup here.
Wow.
And they come in various sizes too. So you'll have the Labrador, but you'll also have the tiny poodle that people walk down the trendy areas of Chicago. And this happens in droves. I'm not saying it doesn't happen in the United Kingdom. You will see it. Of course you will. Dog parks specifically set up in both countries.
Oh yeah, you go to the UK, you will see dogs everywhere.
For these very animals. However, it's not so easy to take our final entry for a walk, as evidenced by his antics today.
My mum has like 4 or 5 cats.
Yes, cats. And much like dogs, there are more American household cats than there are British people. They're everywhere, and in both countries you will see them cohabiting with dogs.
Is it true that most of your house cats... Well, I just said it. Is it true that most of your cats are house kept?
I use the term cohabiting.
Because in the UK, it's kind of like, not weird, but like, it's not normal to keep your cats in the house. Most cats are just outdoor cats.
Loosely. They tolerate, they hide out of the way, or just attack the out of the dogs. I don't know who to feel sorry for most, but I do know since moving to the United States, I've mostly lived with cats. And, you know, I joke about how this one's a little menace, but I mean, he is. There isn't one thing he can't get into trouble for, and that includes murder. In fact, despite all of his interference, he's been moderately well behaved for him. So I have to give him props for that. And he, of course, is not alone in being a domesticated cat in this country. Again, I use the term domesticated loosely. Because in the United States of America, there is one cat for every 1.3 households.
That's close to dogs, though. So in America... Cats are slightly more than dogs.
One for every house. And what that means is that there's an estimated 94 million cats roaming. They're not roaming the streets. That's what they do in England. We have a lot of outdoor cats in England, which might explain the lower numbers. Because in the United Kingdom, we have 7.5. And it wasn't curiosity that killed the cat. It was a Ford Escort. Cats are all the rage in the United States, even more so than dogs, though you wouldn't believe.
It is true, and it is a shame because there's so many outdoor cats. Like, even I've had a cat that's been run over before. Like, a lot of cats do, you know, get run over and stuff in the UK. Not like all of them. I'm making it out to be way more than it is, but it does happen. Do you know what I mean? So, like, yeah, it kind of is like a bad thing. I'm not going to lie. But then again, like, the cats enjoy going outside. So,
it, seeing the amount of dogs being walked on the streets. It's just that cats don't take well to being put on a leash. I've tried, believe me. He actually chewed through the leash and ran back in the house and hid in a cupboard.
No way.
That's it for this episode. Thank you for joining me on this.
To actually find out America really does beat UK that much on pets, when I thought UK has loads of pets. Really, really interesting. You guys just do it different over there. But great video. Enjoyed that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. If you did, make sure you leave a thumbs up, subscribe for more content. I'm live every single day on twitch.tv/alphanumberg. If you guys want to check me out over there, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.